Omagyanatimirandasya Gananjana Shalakaya Chakshurum Milikamena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah.
What up, dude?
What's up, bro?
Hey, there we go. How's it going, man?
Hey, it's going good. How are you doing?
Doing good. Just chilling.
Chilling.
I'm chilling.
Nice, bro. Yeah, bro. I'm honored to be embarking on this journey with you,
Oh yeah.
and to just go over these types of knowledge, So yeah,
How long you been teaching? Curious.
for me, teaching the patterns and teaching the markets is very recent, so not too long.
You like teaching?
I do. When I first started getting into teaching itself is because when I was 19, I had become a monk. And so I was living in a temple. I lived in the temple for about 5 years.
Dang.
And so there I was teaching more like yoga, meditation, breath work, stuff like that. So this is something new for me, but I really love it. I really love all the aspects of trading. It's for me, it's just something real interesting because I love patterns. I love sacred geometry. So
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm the same. Like I love patterns and stuff, kind of looking how the world works. And so it's kind of changing that, like moving from outer patterns. Like I like emotions and like reading people, but now it's like moving it to a more kind of like masculine environment, like with numbers and charts and like everything. You can kind of see it all. And I've always been kind of like, I don't know, nervous, or I don't know. I see patterns in like the world and like how that works. So I've always been skeptical about charting, and that mostly just comes from like crypto, because like I feel like it's hard to chart crypto because it's so crazy. But I know that there's a solid methods within like the stock market and the forex market. There's like ways to do that, but never felt that like fire to start until like meeting this group and stuff.
So it was more recently where you developed the fire to say, I wanna actually understand these movements more and what they mean, and it's kind of taking it to the next level, right?
Yeah, because like I done like a whole bunch of research into like the crypto stuff, and I've kind of have a good understanding of like where it's going and like what projects are going like forward, but I've really just been buying and holding. So I've just been like hodling the shit out of stuff. And I've always had that like, oh, it's going to be this year. Cause I just started this like 5 years ago, found a really good crypto that I started investing in, and just started I was working like 3 jobs at the time, and just kept putting most of my paycheck. Cause at the time I was living with my mom. So I was just putting like 80% of my paychecks into crypto and just sitting on it, and watching a lot of like researchers go in, and like you can't really make money off of the research that they're going into. It's like the price action. So I'm just been kind of like sitting on the sidelines for like 5 years, and like I'm at that point now where it's like I can't do that anymore because it's just like not lucrative. But and I've been like waiting for like DeFi stuff. I don't know if you've heard of DeFi.
Yeah.
Heard of DeFi? Yeah.
Decentralized finance.
Exactly. And like I'm super stoked about that, and I'm starting that up in July. But if I can kind of add those 2 things together, kind of the trading, reading charts, and then kind of do the DeFi stuff too, it gets me kind of excited to kind of like integrate both of them and just kind of like see where it kind of goes.
Yeah, there's so much to learn out there in the decentralized world. It's pretty amazing, what they're doing. Some of these projects coming out, like you heard of Radium Saber?
I haven't. Who's that? What
They're
blockchain
like
is that?
Radium's like it's a platform where you can basically exchange. It's on on Solana platform,
Okay.
but it's where you can exchange like one token for another, and it's becoming very useful in like the NFT realm because for instance, you'll be staking some NFTs and earning passive income, and at a certain point they release the DEX, which is I think the decentralized exchange, which
Yeah.
which is what Radium is. And so then you can like swap the coins into another ones. You can swap from Solana to a USD stable coin, which is down the line you're going to learn all these things in the course when you start working more with Zeller, and then you're also maybe working with the Crypto Love Ninja in the future. But yeah, he's gonna break down everything crypto related. So yeah, the course goes through some phases. Today, we're thinking about going through price action and just I don't know how familiar you are with TradingView and using CoinX, using a demo account. Have you set any of those up yet, or?
Yeah, I finished the introduction part to Zeller's course. So I
Hmm.
got everything set up. What is it?
Okay, so you have a demo account, you have MetaTrader
Yeah.
downloaded. Ah, cool. Do you know how to add funds onto the account already?
Yeah, I added
Yeah.
the 10, I think it starts at 1,000, but then Zeller kind of showed how to add another 9,000. So I have 10,000 in
Okay.
like the demo account.
Perfect. Oh, that's awesome. That means we can spend more time on the charts.
Perfect.
So yeah, the demo count's real crucial because you can just practice those entries and exits and see, you kind of just build up the demo account so you don't have to really risk much. And then yeah, everything you do on a demo, it will work on the live account same exact way. So it's
Perfect.
it's pretty exciting. I'm gonna share my screen here. And I'm just gonna hop straight on to TradingView. And I just pulled up Bitcoin here since we were talking about it. Oh, sorry, this little thing, the pop-up menu gets in the way.
Oh yeah, all the time. I know it's
There you go. All right. So now it's gotta load because I pressed back by accident. Let's see.
You go to BTC to USD or BTC.
I put BTC USDT. So it's tethered. Yeah, it's not. I don't know if there's much a difference between that one and just the regular USD, but the tethered is based on the token, the US, that kind
It's
of
Tether.
stable token. Mhm.
Have you looked
What is
into kind of
AVAX?
the whole Tether thing and how it's like propped up and stuff?
Oh yeah. What's it called? You're talking about, wait, which one are you talking about? The thing that happened with Luna recently, or?
Yeah, that was a US. That was a different stable coin, right?
It
That
was a
was like,
different one.
yeah, but like I guess there's a whole bunch of stuff behind Tether, and like Tether doesn't have all the funds, and I guess they're going through kind of a lawsuit in the background. But like if
Oh,
Tether,
really?
yeah, which is interesting because like if Tether implodes, like that's what's propping Bitcoin up right now.
Hmm.
And so I'm super curious to kind of see what happens in the near future with Tether, because if the same thing happens to that other stable coin with Luna that happens with USDT, Bitcoin's gonna take a hit.
Yeah, yeah, it's some crazy stuff. It's like some people call them what's it called? The Wild Wild West with all the stuff happening in crypto.
Yeah, man. Crazy.
Yeah, I know,
It's
bro.
like
It's
not,
like I know I've heard of some of people just losing so much with Luna. It's unfortunate. camp, and I thought it was a really good project with what everything they had mentioned. But yeah, it's high risk, high reward type of stuff. So you always got to be prepared.
True.
Yeah, so you're familiar with candlesticks, right?
Yeah, I learned about kind of refresher and kind of like the close, the ass, or not the ass, but the wicks and all of that.
Mm.
So when it goes up, it's basically that's where it starts at and it ends at the top. And then like the wicks are like how high it went for that day and how low it went for that day.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and there's some little tricks here to TradingView. You can actually you click on the if you double click on the bodies on TradingView, you can recolor them, which it's pretty nice. You can organize it the way you like, so it comes out visually. You know, it's just easier to work with when you can see it clear. You can you change the background. You can change the background of over here. So it's a little thing right there. You got you got all your trend lines over here. You got you got your horizontal line, which you can just straight line across. So anything you put down, you can recolor it by just double tapping it there. Yeah, so basically with these candles, do you know what an engulfing candle is?
Is that when it goes all the way up and then the next day or the next hourly, whatever the next candle is, it basically takes away from what the previous one did?
Yeah, so
Does
right
that mean-
here, this little this move right here, this white candle is called an engulfing candle. It means that it overtook the previous movement.
Okay.
And so following that engulfing candle, you actually see the price rose up over here. So the candles, as you go in the course, you'll get more of the names and all, and they all have different meanings based on, right here is like this is considered a doji. And that's characterized by the long wick on the bottom, which usually if it's on the bottom, it means it's gonna send the price upwards. So you get little signals. You get signals on what the price is really doing. As over here, you can see these big wicks on the bottom. These are it's a very bullish sign that the price will probably continue upward. And although it went upward a little bit right here, but then kind of Bitcoin is something that it really just depends on what, because you got it, the market cap, you're still getting more people finding out about it. So Bitcoin is more the price always fluctuating, whereas if you go to it, we're going to be trading forex as well, which is not as sporadic in the movement, so it's easier to make consistent profits there. So a lot of people do their day trading on forex, and then like you said, just be like holding long term on crypto, and then like maybe waiting 3 years, 5 years for those assets to take off. So it definitely is, it's a whole world, but it's fun that you can actually practice these movements on your demo account. So yeah, here's some examples of the candlesticks. So because this is the first and most important lesson is just understanding what the price action is telling you. And so right now I got mine colored purple. Of course, the bearish candles going down, and I got the bullish candles going up, white. And over here, you can see here, I'm going to take off all my drawings because I got some support resistance lines going. yeah, you can see there was a downtrend going on, right? It's been moving down, lower highs, lower lows. And then this reversal happened right here, which send the price upwards. So you can actually see those. The way you really see those, you kind of start seeing the price as it's going down. It starts losing its power. Like over here, as it's going down, you see some big candles, these big bodies, and you don't really see over here, you don't really see the price overtaking the last bullish movement. When I say bullish, bearish, you understand those, right?
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah. So yeah, you don't see them overtaking here. You see that it's lower here, lower here. So it's a downtrend. But as you see, as it goes lower, this naturally occurs in the markets as the price keeps moving the same direction one way, it tends to get weaker. So right here is very strong. Like this right here, is like considered one move. All these candles, even though it's like separate candles, this is all considered one move. And I'm on a daily time frame.
Yeah.
So for each day, it just kept going down over here. This is in 2020, starting. Well, I guess this is when COVID started area, right?
Yeah.
It's around like February to like, March, I think, was when they told everyone lockdown. And so yeah, everything you can see from here, but it starts getting weaker, starts getting a little like these aren't as big as the ones before. And then at a certain point, as you see, it just gets so small right here. And there's some little signals, like right here, you get a first engulfing candle, this bullish engulfing candle, which overtook the previous movement. And that was a little bit of a foreshadowing of what's to come. And the market likes to do that often, where it'll actually foreshadow what's going to come next. So right after that, you do get a little bit of a little more down, but here it didn't really go down anymore at this point, right? So at this point, you got this engulf this movements here, and then right here you see you start seeing the bearish movements very weak. So these are usually real good signals that a reversal is coming. And right here, another engulfing, and then right here engulfing. So, and then send the trend upwards. And this is an interesting asset because I've been watching USD JPY for a while. And this asset, look how it launched up. It just went really bullish real fast. And this really represents, the US dollar increasing in value. But yeah, it could move up. It could move up quite a bit, but then just as it went up very hard like that, you can expect whatever goes up is going to come back down. So what people are actually looking for when it goes up is not to keep buying. Like right here, you wouldn't actually buy. You would start looking for places to sell long term.
What do you think about shorting there too?
What's that?
What do you think about like shorting at like, since it's hitting that top?
Yeah, you would think about shorting, but you would actually wait for the right signals to short. So you would wait, just like you've seen an engulfing bullish candle down there. You want to see some bearish engulfing candles. So right here we got a small downward movement after this bearish engulfing candle. So this is on the daily. So like if you go down to the 1 hour, which if you go down to the 1 hour, then the play lasts a lot longer. Like right here, you could have, you could have been seeing the price action, and then back here, you would have noticed like, okay, over here, I see that right here was this move engulfed the previous move. So it's the end of that little bull run, mini bull run. And it's pretty much signaling you that there's a reversal coming, that the price is going to go down. So with that price action, you can on a scalping or day trading type of mode, you could place a sell order there. You get your sell order there, and then it would have been a great ride to go down there. So
Do you do day trading, scalping, or like swing
yeah,
trader?
I've done all. I've tried I've tried longer term trades that will last a few days. Yeah, which swing trading, yeah. And then I've done scalping. I've done scalping on the 5-minute time frame before. I've gone on the 1 minute. It's pretty fun. I highly recommend it in the beginning when you're like going through charts. Just see what's going on in the 1 minute, because it really teaches you about to recognize what the patterns are doing. And sometimes you get really good little signals for little trades. Another name for this type of time zone, the 1 minute and the 5-minute and all, is called high frequency trading. So it's actually real fun. I've brought in a lot of good moves through that. I've also learned a lot of mistakes through here too, which is good. That's what the demo counts all for. But like, yeah, over here, this is the 1 minute. So over here, you can see like, you see right here, after this downward movement, you actually get this movement engulfs the previous bearish movement, and then it actually sent your price up a little bit. So someone would see those little signals and be like, okay, I could get a little good scalp in right here. So they'll put a little buy order. They'll just put buy order, or just buy immediately and ride it up a bit. But then right here you see this candle, and you see a long wick on top, and that's a sign that the price is being pushed down and it doesn't want to go any higher. So those are usually little signals like, okay, close the trade right here. Because yeah, it's actually better to take profits than to try to make it go way high. You wanna take profits in between. You want to definitely pay yourself. Super important. And right here you can see that the next move right here didn't overcome this move. See how it's actually lower, and then it went down. So right there is a signal that, okay, well, probably the price is gonna push down a little bit more, but actually it did break over here, and now it's kind of retesting that level where right here was, so it's interesting. It really this type of price action gives you a lot of clarity, just understanding what the candles are doing pretty much. And everyone has like a different little technique to what can be applied to price action, but price action is pretty much the foundation. So when you understand these candles, what they're doing, you'll be able to put it onto any other types of techniques out there. So that's making sense? Yeah.
Oh yeah, totally. Yeah, those three down there, like right to the right a little bit, there's like three
Right.
wicks that go like straight down. Is that what kind of like indicator? Because those kind of like stick out to me.
These right here, you're saying?
Yeah, those three. They have like
Yeah.
long wicks at the bottom. Is that like an indicator?
Yeah, that's definitely an
Shows-
indicator, because you actually see that's a very bullish indicator, because you see one wick right here, one another, and another right here. And after that, the price went high and actually broke this this level. And yeah, you could
Right?
see that
It's like
it took a while. It took more time than this. This went down really fast right here. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 10 minutes, as opposed to right here, maybe 30 minutes for all this movement. But yeah, that's an indicator right there. Pa, pa, pa.
What indicator would you look for, like right before that big drop? Or does it like kind of like show before, like what might have like indicated that it was going to go down?
So beforehand, you would see this candle right here, and you see this big wick. It is
Yeah.
actually showing that bears won't let, see, there's actually a little level right here. So they pretty much didn't let the price pass that level. And right now we're actually touching that level again. You see right here, we touched it, but it actually broke through that level, and it wasn't able to hold very long because it went back down, but it didn't actually go, it didn't go too far down. So there's a possibility like it might hit this level again and break through. And usually when people see that again, they'll wait for like a little retest here to like buy, and then if they're thinking the price is going to continue, so they would do like they would like, you know, maybe buy, if you're thinking the price is going to go up, they would probably buy, like enter here, maybe put their stop loss like a little bit before for low risk, and then maybe, you know, if you're doing a quick little scalp, you might think like, okay, it might hit this top again. So it's a little bit of a, you know, small risk to reward, 5.71 risk to reward. But yeah, when you can basically tell, I'll go to another, you know, I'm gonna get off the 1 minute and just go back to like let's go to a 4 hour. It's always good to, like, when you're trading on the 1 minute, it's always good to switch between the other times frames, because it'll give you a little bit more clarity. Here's a little trick too. You can press Command R, no, not Command R. It's Alt R if you're on a Mac. Option R. But yeah, Option R, and it brings you back to the center. It's real. It's much better than having to zoom out and trying to, you know, line it up. So yeah, Alt R is really important. So yeah, so this is on the 4 hour, and yeah, so you can kind of tell sometimes with wicks, but what's more important than wicks are the candle bodies. So right here, you don't see an engulfing candle quite yet on this one, but you do see, you do kind of see that shortly after there was an engulfing of this move, and then it led by a big drop. So you basically want to see that. That's really real important, is to see what the bodies are doing. The bodies are the most important. The candles are secondary, but they're very important as well, of course.
What do you mean by the body? The body of the candle?
Yeah, so the body is what's colored in the rectangle right here.
Gotcha.
Because how it works pretty much is, let's say this is the price start right here. It goes up, goes down, and it finally closes right here. It closed right here, and then it opened up right here. The price went down a little bit, it went back up, but it finally closed right here, which is above the other candle. So that's what makes it a bullish candle, is that it closed above. Right here, the next candle, it opens up right here, and it pushed up a little bit, but actually the bears pushed it down a bit. It went down here, and it finally closed over here. So it closed lower. So that's why it's purple, and it went to the bear zone. See, opens up here, price moves, and it finally closes. So yeah, so wherever it closes, it's gonna start the next body over there. And right here, you see it close right there, open right here, close here, open, close, open, close. Yeah. So,
So I'm curious, how do you integrate using the kind of like 1 minute, the 4 hour, and like the 1 day? Like if you get like opposite reads from all three charts and like they're kind of like contesting against each other, it's like, how do you, is that just a trade that you wouldn't mess with? Or like, are you looking for similarities between the 1 minute, the 4 hour, the 1 day, where it's like there's multiple indicators that it's like, yep, they're all kind of showing that it's going to go up or that it's going to go down before you kind of get in? Like,
yeah, you would look at, like, you would always start on a higher time frame to just see what is happening. So let's say I'm on the 4 hour and I want to do, let's say you want to do some scalping. And let's see if I can rewind this. So there's the rewind button right here is pretty cool because you can just pretend like these moves never happened. So it can be like,
oh yeah,
you click back to there. And so it just erased all that movement. So I would see this on the 4 hour. And then on the 4 hour, I would say, okay, well, let me go down to the 1 hour and see what's happening. And on the 1 hour, you would notice on that move, you'd be like, okay, well, on the 1 hour, I'm seeing that this candle actually engulfed this one. So on the 4 hour, I couldn't really see that. On the 4 hour, I only saw this one, which didn't look like it engulfed it. It still looks like this is definitely bigger, but it's pretty close, but it's not quite engulfing. But on the 1 hour, you do see an engulfing happening right here, which is a little bit of a sign that, oh, look at the other candle is gonna go down. Then you go, like, let's say you could click this arrow right here, and then you can get all your options. Let's say I go to the 30-minute and be like, okay, what's happening on the 30-minute? Okay, 30-minute, that's what's happening. Then you go to, let's say, 5-minute. And on 5-minute, you see, oh, on 5-minute, you can see, okay, like you can see all that bearish movement. So basically, when you're seeing that downward, you're actually, and then you're seeing this, I see this wick here, and I'll be like, okay, what's gonna go next? I wouldn't necessarily want to enter a trade. Right here, you do see, and we're gonna be talking about this later on, but support and resistance lines. But you see like right here was like a little bit of a level that these price was kind of going sideways because it was playing with this level. Like, does it want to break out or does it want to go down from this level? And right here it chose to break out. But now you see the price actually came and retested that level. So you're actually on the 5-minute, you'd be like, okay, well, what's actually gonna go on? And let's see. I'm gonna play a little bit. You can see what happens to the price. This is real helpful because then you can just see what happens with price movements. Going back in time gives you the vision for the future a lot of times. So yeah, you see it did actually, these little wicks did actually send the price up a little bit. So that's on the 5-minute. I'm gonna move up to the 1 hour again, and I'm gonna see, I just paused it. So right here, I see that a bullish candle happened, but it actually did not overtake this candle. And then play it. Yeah, so what happened after that? Look at that dump. Yeah,
shit.
So yeah, the price went down here. Based on your support and resistance levels and other technical analysis things, you will actually find ways in which you'd be like, okay, I could see a level right here, and someone with a lot of experience would be like, okay, I'm gonna try to sell until that level. And then some people would be like, okay, I'm gonna buy in that level and go up again, you know? So let's see what the price did. Yeah, see, it went way down. And oh, so I'm gonna pause it. So see right there. Let's see right here. Right here on the 1 hour, you actually then saw this type of doji. I mean, let me just put there you go. You see this doji right here. And usually when you see this in the bottom of a trend, it's going to show that the trend is going to reverse. Even though it wasn't very long lived, it actually did reverse a bit. So on the 5-minute time frame, 15-minute, 5-minute. Yeah. Okay, there. It kind of glitched for a second. So on the 5-minute time frame, you would actually notice little scalp opportunities there. Kind of not very clear here on the 5, to be honest, but let me go back to the hour. Yeah. Not very, oh, it's because I had to here. Sometimes it's actually helpful to, let me see, if you get a little arrow, and this is actually helpful to get a little arrow. And point where you want to do, because when you switch time frames, it could be real challenging to find your place again. So I put a little arrow there. Now when I change to the 5-minute, see, okay, so you can see what happened in that spot. And so yeah, if you're on the 5-minute, you'll see, you'll pretty much see, like, you might see this opportunity right here, and it could be a good little trade. It actually did end up going a lot higher than, sometimes it's right here like this, it overtook this, but it didn't overtake this. So even though it overtook it, it actually got sent back down. It resisted off of that level, went down. Right here, the very bottom, there's like, it's not passing here. It did not pass that level. And right here, you got the engulfing movement again. Right here, went over this and then it sent the price up. So yeah, that's all with price action. You can actually find a lot of opportunities.
So I'm curious, is there a stronger indication? Like, is an engulfing candle kind of a bigger indicator than an engulfing movement, or like, is there a difference between the two? Like, I'm curious what you look for, like when you look for doing a trade. Like, what are your top 2, top 3 type of things that you look for before entering into a trade?
Yeah, the first thing I look for is an engulfing candle.
Okay.
After a strong movement in a certain direction. So if you see a strong movement down or up, you're not going to necessarily want to buy there, even though it seems like the price is going to keep launching. It always tends to go back down and retest a certain level. So you're actually trying to get back on the retest. So as you see right here, so many good examples. I'm gonna put a trend line. Oh wait, I'm gonna get my crosshairs back. I'm gonna do my trend line, and from right here on this trend line, you actually see a retest here, a retest here, and here's kind of like, it's a range. There's not always, the level's not always like exact, but on the range, you can see like right here, it kind of went back down a little bit. So someone that's scalping would probably get in right here. They probably might not notice this first move. See, if I drag this one back, if I drag it back over here, what I actually noticed is that this upward movement actually broke this level right here, and then it bounced off right here. So it was actually, there's where the decision was being made. Is the price going to go higher, or is it going to reject and go back down? Right here, it broke out, but on that breakout, you wouldn't necessarily buy right there. You would wait for the retest. So right here was the retest, and it broke out. And on that sign, see, and that's on price action, you do see the candle is bullish. It is engulfing this move. So when the move for me, a move would be, yeah, like multiple candles, what they're doing in a direction. And then you want to look at that, and you also want to look at what the individual candle's doing, because that's super important. Right here, you don't really see strong movement downward. Right here, it's like kind of going sideways, but there's no power on the bull side at all, right? Like over here is fully bullish, going straight up. What people look for on that breakout is not to really necessarily buy the breakout. You might be real good and notice that and be like, I could get in right there. But there's always a retest of the breakout. So right here, it broke out. And then here retested once, twice, 3 times. It went up again more. But right here was another opportunity when it went down. And all these opportunities is a good time to buy. Is a good opportunity that's sending you a signal like, okay, you can actually enter here because it's holding. It's not breaking this trend line. You get what I'm saying? So it sent the price.
It's starting kind of like a new support, like at the bottom, right?
Yeah.
And then
which it was a resistance at a certain level right here. It was resisting, but it didn't hold. It broke. And let's say you didn't get on this play and you saw the price shoot up. There's no need to panic. Some people panic and they'll buy right here or they'll buy right here. They'll see the price going up like, oh shit, I'm out. Like, you know, FOMO. We all been there, you know. But then what happens here is the price actually does make its way back down, and look how clean it retests that level. So here's an opportunity. Like if you didn't get in here, don't worry about it. There's always more opportunities. You can get in back over here. And yeah, person got in back here. If you see that last time, it did not pass this level right here. There's a good chance like there's some sideways action happens, right? Because like if I stretch this out over here, you can see there's this little chamber happening. So someone will be like, okay, well, I know from previous price action that my price got sent up and it bounced off this level. And now it's back to where my buying zone is. Okay, I'm going to buy here. And I might want to take profit up here somewhere. Or, you know, you necessarily not need to, because the price did eventually keep going up. But, you know, eventually like through like a scalping or the high frequency trading, some people can get pretty exact. Buy here, sell here, buy here, sell here, buy here again. But see how there's actually multiple buy opportunities right here. This one is for the experts that really know how to get in. But right here, one opportunity to buy, another opportunity to buy, another opportunity to buy. So each of these could have been a profitable move. And from here, from this area, and if you buy and you go up to here, it's a good move. That's 183 pips. You know about pips, yeah? Yeah. So, and yeah, those are indicators, yeah. So, but we got to know that in the market, anything can happen. So you're going to be later on, of course, you're going to be learning with Cody a lot of risk management techniques, which can be super helpful. It's like one of the most important things, like where to get in, where to get out, when to close your trade if it's not working, you know. It's super important. Let's see right here real quick. So
did you learn like this like through scalping or like day trading? Like how did you like start catching on quicker? And like do they kind of what is it? As above, so below, kind of the small kind of replicates the big what am I trying to say?
Yeah, like I get what you're saying. It's like what happens on the bigger time frames.
Micro and macro. Yeah.
Macro and micro, yeah. It's so crazy because like the more time you spend on your demo account and you're on here and you're checking it out and you're making trades, you actually start seeing patterns repeat themselves. Like you'll be like, that looks familiar. Like intuitively, you'll start feeling like something's gonna happen based on the movements. But it definitely took a lot of practice to be able to see these things. The course helped a lot. Like, I really appreciate the course. I still go through it. Like last night I was reviewing some things on there because it makes more sense the more you practice it. But it's just basically like anything else. Like, I've been playing guitar for since I was 12 years old, and I'm 27 right now. So like in that 15-year period, it's just crazy the type of development that has happened, the things that connect, and things that seem very difficult back then are just effortless now. And I'm trying to connect that with trading too, because although for me trading, you know, I didn't really know what I was doing until I started coaching with Zeller, and he made it real clear and easy. And as well as we got a good community. They're always sharing their ideas of what's a good trade and all. So, and right now I'm doing an advanced sequence course with Fibonacci's. It's real cool using Fibonacci to kind of see where the price is gonna go. Let me see. Let me see if I can open up. Or was I doing it on gold? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
How long have you been like practicing like the Fibonacci stuff? Because
Fibonacci, just like a week and a half, 2 weeks.
Okay.
Not very long.
Does it click easier because you've done like this type of trading, just reading the candles and stuff? Does it come easier with Fibonacci, or
yes,
is it like different beasts?
Yeah, bro. They go hand in hand. Price action is king. It's the best of the best of any indicators. The price action is always gonna be the highest. Here, let me exit this replay. It's always going to be the best indicator because as you see right here, this is on the gold. You can see that we had a strong, after this strong upward movement, the price action showed this bearish movement here, and then it followed by a giant move down. So if you got in your trade right here, this is on gold versus US dollar. If you got in on this trade, and these are some signals, right? Price action is basically showing these type of signals, the strong wicks on the bottom, which is showing that the price is going to move upwards. Huge engulfing candle. Look how big it is compared to all these. These are all on the 1 hour. Yeah. 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour, 1 hour. And in 1 hour, this happened. The next hour, this happened. And the next hour, this happened. But see how it gets smaller. It's almost like Fibonacci in itself, because like bigger, a little bit smaller, a little bit smaller. And then right here, small, small. And usually after big upward movements, the price is not going to keep going on certain assets. It's going to balance out. So what goes up must come down, as above, so below type of thing. So right here, you got this engulfing, and then it'll be a good, if you didn't get out on this one engulfed this one. So this is a good signal that, okay, the trend's over. Let's close our trade, take profits. If you didn't see that one, you would see this one, and still you're up. If somehow you're able to get down here and you close your trade here, that's fine. But you definitely don't want to wait too long, because look how the price went down, and it actually went lower than your entry point, and it went way low. So price action is always going to give you the indicator when to get in, when to get out. What's the chart doing? Over here, you can see, like, you'd be like, okay, well, right here, there was a strong wick, and it did send the price upward a little bit, but see, it's a small candle body, and even though it's a strong wick, it's not as powerful as this. This is way more powerful than this little movement. So even though this is sending the price upward, it's not convincing. It's not super convincing until you see something engulf this movement again. You want to see this become engulfed again, so that you would say, okay, well, the price is going to be bullish again. So right here, even though it sent it up, the price kept going down. You can see all the bullish movements, they're kind of weakening out. Right here, bottomed out, and you get again another engulfing move, engulf this, and yeah, sent the price up. This part, it engulfed this. You see how it's basically the wick. The wick isn't as important when you're talking about engulfing candles. You want to actually see where the body closed. So right here, you can actually see with the line, it closed above, and I'll draw command. Is it command T? What did I do? Oh dang, I put the wrong thing. It's Alt T. Alt T is a trend line. I'm trying to memorize all the shortcuts and stuff because it makes things a lot easier. But you can see right here with this body is above here, so that's a good sign that the price is gonna change up, because actually afterwards you did see that it sent the price up. And currently you got another engulfing candle over here, and then sent the price up a bit. Yeah, gold is almost like crypto. It really, it has like a lot of volatility. But see right here though, it didn't overcome this move yet, so you would actually want to see that become overcome before you think it's bullish again. So when it's going sideways, we usually don't really trade much, like no trade zones when it's going sideways. You want to see some clear indicators. On the 1 hour, you might not see much, but then when you zoom on to the weekly, it might give you a better perspective. What is it? Is it Alt R? Yeah, Alt R. So yeah, on the weekly, you get a better perspective that, okay, well, it looks kind of bad there, but when you see right here, you see that this is the previous low over here, and it didn't really pass that low, so it's still sideways. It's like it's kind of getting a little indicators here with some wicks. So and right here a strong wick which sent the price up here. So you basically want to just wait to see what happens. Some people on the weekly, they would wait. They see this engulfing candle, they would wait for this engulfing candle this bearish candle to become overcome. So an indicator to get in would probably be a breakout of that and a close. It's so important. You never really make a decision based on, you see right here, it says there's 2 days and 3 hours left for the weekly close. So people wait till that closes to make a decision. So an open candle, it gives you some idea, but you never make a decision based on that. You only make a decision based on the closed candle. So people want to see a close above. And if you see a close above, that's bullish. That's like, okay, we just overcame this big move. You can expect the price to go up. And some people will be like, okay, I'm going to enter right there and maybe go up until this level. You kind of have to feel out where you want to make your target, and all that stuff will come. But yeah, price action is king. The more you look at the charts, you'll see all that confirmed to you. And yeah, you can spot reversals very easily with price action, like right here. You can see an engulfing move right here, engulfed this downward movement is kind of getting weak already. It's kind of sideways here, and you also see this candle right here, which it pretty much shows that people are trying to shoot the price up, right? Like they bought, and they sent the price up here. And of course, the bears kept trying. People kept wanting it to go down, but it didn't go past there. And then right here engulf. So if this is not a clear indicator, right here should be a very clear indicator, because this weekly close is super bullish. Look how massive that candle is. It overtook not only this candle, but it overtook this candle. And it's kind of above this wick too, which almost invalidating this wick, which, you know, this wick right here would show that the price is going down. But see, even though this sent the price down, it wasn't very strong. The bulls still have the power right here. Bulls have the power right here. Freaking look how high it went. So even if you didn't enter here and you feel bad, like, oh, I didn't get in the very bottom, that's okay. Look at this opportunity right here. If you this is all on a weekly. So if you're back here in May 2019, and on the weekly you saw this candle, and on the weekly you saw this candle, and you don't see, there's no sign of reversal, this is a good entry point, because you're overcoming this. And then if you enter right here, you can get, look how high you could get right there. And even like some people do this technique where, let's say you enter your trade, let's say you entered right here, yeah, enter right here, you got your stop loss. Let's say you're getting your stop loss, I don't know, maybe before the candle there, and you would zoom back out. Let's see if the price up here. There's certain levels. This is a level. This is a level. This is a level. Some people will be like, okay, I wanna put my take profit to see where these wicks are touching.
Yeah.
So that's a strong level, because it kept bouncing off there 1, 2, 3 times. So people will be safe and be like, okay, I'm gonna take my profit right there, or I might take it a little bit before, just to be a little smarter than the system. And my risk is gonna be very small. My reward is gonna be pretty big. And of course, the price actually went to that level, but it played with that same level that we saw back there. I'm gonna draw a line just so it becomes clear, because this is super important right here. You know, because you're gonna see zones to take profit, and so that's a little level right there. Right there, you saw the price bounced off that level. It didn't want to cross it at first, right? It resisted. Resistance. And then finally it broke that level. And right here, it kind of bounced off and then went back higher. So what people will do actually, you could do this on MetaTrader, is that you can, instead of taking your profit, if you start seeing these bullish candles, you think, man, the price is gonna probably keep going, you can actually move your stop loss into profit, so that if you want to keep going higher with it, you keep riding it, and just put your stop loss like kind of like if you were entered here and then you saw the price go up to here, and you're like, man, I don't want to exit this trade. Instead of you don't have to have any risk anymore. You can move your stop loss right here, right under this candle, and then you put your take profit higher, and then say, okay, let me write it out, and then yeah, it went higher. And then if you want to keep writing it, you can move your stop loss even more into profit. You know what I'm saying? So then there's no risk. You're always gonna win. So those are little techniques that we like to do here in the Ascended Traders, just to secure our profits. And eventually, like, honestly, I've had a lot of challenges in the market trying to figure out what the price is gonna do. I've actually, with demo accounts, I've had many failures on demo accounts, but that's where you learn. So don't ever feel bad at yourself. You'd be like, oh shit, I made a real bad move, or on my demo account, I liquidated so much. It's actually gonna teach you. So you can look back at it and be like, okay, what can I learn here? Oh, you could be like, oh, well, my stop loss was too close, or you know what I'm saying? So there's little things you start picking up on. But yeah, it's all based on price action. So that's why, like, this little session we had, I pretty much only focus on this because it's super important. And yeah, you can see can see so many examples in it. Right here it's kind of sideways, so you wouldn't. Right here is not. It's kind of saying, okay, what's gonna happen now? It could very easily come back down and touch that level before going back up, or there could have been a new level made right here. The price didn't really go lower than this, so there's a new level right there, so it could touch there. So yeah, people usually want to buy at those levels, and we're gonna go more in depth on support and resistance next time, because of how they interact. But yeah, what do you think about? Do you have any questions on that on price action?
I'm actually like, I totally get the price action part. I'm curious how you pick like which pairs. So like how many charts do you read before? Like, do you just have like a good ones that you're familiar with, like gold spot and US dollar, Bitcoin, USD, USDT, or whatever that is? How do you kind of like decide? Because I know you don't want to overload yourself with too many trades.
Yeah.
And like, so you want to find like ones that are kind of like your niche, or like which ones that you know pretty well, you know the past charts, so that you can kind of keep going like forward. How do you decide like which ones to kind of go with?
Well, honestly, because I live in Hawaii, and since Japan is so close to me, I first chose to work on USDJPY because of like when the market opens and my time zone.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, you want to have like in the beginning of when you're gonna start charting and you're gonna start mapping out your trades, you actually really want to just stick to like a couple charts, 2 or 3 charts. You don't want to overwhelm yourself, because it is overwhelming to go onto too many charts and execute too many different trades. So what a lot of people recommend, a lot of my mentors, they have recommended to me to, and I talk about a lot of my mentors because not only with Zeller and with Kian, but I also like I have gone and researched other traders, like Mark Douglas. He's really good. But yeah, what was I saying? Shit. Oh yeah, recommend mastering one chart. You just get one chart and you start marking it up and start trying to see what's going on. You can get on bigger ranges. You can go like on a monthly. You can see what's going on the monthly. Super interesting because you see this price was up here before and it went all the way down here and it went back up here to the same spot. And then it broke through that. So like going on different time, I would say get one chart and just mess with different time frames. Go on the monthly, see how the monthly looks to you. Then see, okay, what is the monthly telling me in relation to the weekly? And you go to the weekly and you'd be like, okay, well on the weekly, this is what I see. You can kind of see the same patterns as the monthly. Like right here, you see that same dip on the weekly, but you get more candles to work with, of course. But you can start seeing similar little patterns. There's all these different indicators. There's so many of them, but yeah, you'll definitely learn them. I'm still learning new indicators. I mean, like, yeah. But yeah, it's ever expansive process. It's very much like, even though you learn all these technical things, what you're gonna definitely start getting into is just controlling your emotions, because sometimes you can get real excited and want to just go all in, or you might win a few trades and you'd be like, oh man, I just want to put more in, and then it might be the end of the move. Like someone might ride this up and make some money and be like, oh, I think the price is going to keep going, and they buy up here, and then yeah, the price did keep going, but they buy up here, they put a lot of money in, and then the price gets sent down here. And although it's not very big of a move, right here you might use low risk and gained like maybe like let's say you made $500 on here or 250 or something. And then over here it's like, oh, get too excited. I increased my lot size and just this little move, oh, I lost all that profit, can happen. So a lot of it is a self-discipline and like, it's a lot of breath work for me, like calming myself down in between big trades, big losses, big wins, or, to see things in perspective, to take my time. So yeah, great.
Following
So
the rules and stuff, right? Like, do you
yeah,
have like a certain set of rules that you kind of like follow?
yeah. There's a good set of rules. There's a video there in the course called the trading rules. And some really good trading rules. There's some mindset rules, and then there's like some the mindset rules. Let me see. Trading journal. Yeah, so I got these trading rules written out. We got the mindset rules. Get into a peaceful state before looking at charts. Take a big break after a big win or loss. Be present with emotions. Check in with your emotions consistently. Take breaks if your emotions are present. Like if you get upset about something, you get in a fight with someone, you might not want to trade at that moment. Try to remain in a neutral, abundant, winning mindset. Don't If you start hearing everyone talk about Bitcoin, to the moon and all this stuff, like at 60K Bitcoin, it's like
Yeah.
people might FOMO and go in, but usually you don't want to go out in and FOMO, and you never want to force a trade. You don't want like, what I'm saying, like if the price action is not telling you something, you don't want to like make it do what it's doing. So like some people, they'll get into a trade and it goes the opposite direction, and even though the price action is telling them like get out of the trade, it's reversing. Some people will try to visualize that, oh, I'm gonna mentally make the chart go the direction I want it to go, instead of just accepting the truth, like, oh, it is actually reversing, so let's take the profit, let's take it out, or let's just close the trade and break even. Or even if you close a trade with a little bit of a loss, is better than a big loss. So all these things, you're gonna get all these. See, these are all the rules I got down, and hey, I might not be perfect at them every time, but it's a work in progress. It's good to have him here to just review them and see. With the analyst rules, you want to have 3 reasons to enter a trade, and you know, but you're gonna get all into that when with Zeller, because he's really good when it comes to that. Like that's the next level stuff. That's actually what makes the great traders from the average traders. It's like it is risk management, and that discipline where you just feel abundant enough to just keep consistently winning. It is a winner's mindset. Have you heard of the book Trading in the Zone?
I haven't. Zeller
That
sent me
on
Cosmic
what's
Currency
Oh yeah, Cosmic Currency. Oh, I love that book.
and The Secret Science. I just started it, so I'm hoping to finish it by the end of the week.
I sent it to my mom and she almost finished it. Like she almost finished in a week. She got really far ahead. She loves it.
What was your like favorite thing about it? Like how does it stand out? Because like my big thing is like I've been doing like the spiritual and like shadow work stuff for like 5 years now. Now I'm looking to kind of like integrate it with something like in the physical, because I'm in the physical and it's just like I can't be so much in the spiritual part. It's like I'm trying to integrate both of them. So I think this is going to be fun applying kind of what I've learned over the 5 years, because your emotions, kind of like your mental stuff, it's not like the physical where when you work out, you can see the results. It's like you almost have to apply the mental and the emotional to some sort of outer thing to be able to kind of see like how far you've come. And like that's kind of like what I'm looking to do like with this too, because like the emotions part, I feel like I have a strong handle like on my emotions and like how I feel. So but I haven't had it like the chance to see it in like real life, see it in action, I guess, in a sense. So what was the kind of like your biggest thing from Cosmic Currency? Because it sounds like it kind of does that. It integrates both the spiritual, the mindset part, and kind of the 3D, the physical in a sense.
Yeah, bro. I think with it does integrate it's holistic mind, body, and spirit. That book, whoever or the man who wrote it, and this is a man, right? Forgetting his name, but he
Or
was it
R, I don't know, it says R Rudisuig or something like that. I think it's like German. Yeah, it just says R Rudisuig.
Rudis.
Or maybe it's
Yeah.
Dario Sala.
Oh, that's the name.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sala.
Yeah. Yeah. That yeah, the way he wrote that book was just a real mature expression of what really goes on. Because what stuck out to me the most was it said that everything that we consider as beautiful, as valuable, as abundant, anything that we consider in those levels, they all come from nature. And so he was saying that based on our relationship with nature, we're going to receive back a certain type of currency. Everything that the way we relate to nature, if we relate to nature in a way that we see nature as an ally, as a friend, as pretty much the source of all wealth, the source of gold, the source of everything that we have, and we have a good relationship with nature, then what that's going to do is actually send a signal out into the world, and it's actually going to change our vibration to interact with the world in such a way that's going to bring us more abundance naturally. It's not like, and it might not even be the reason you do it might not even be because you want money or because you want abundance, because you want good things in your life. It's because you recognize that all the things that you enjoy come from this source. So then you're just in a good relationship and connection with that source. And because you're in a good relationship and connection with that source, then that source is more personally disposed to benefit you more. And it's natural that if someone came up to you and was real kind to you and helpful and stuff, you'd be more willing to help them out, or to if someone was kind and understanding, non-judgmental to you, then you would be the same way to them, more likely. And so it's the same thing with nature. As far as I understand, cosmic currency is that you, based on your relationship with nature, you're going to get that cosmic currency, the inner wealth. And that inner wealth can be used to buy anything, because yeah, if you're in a good state of mind, you've probably noticed that you're in a good state of mind, like things start flowing through your day real effortlessly. You'll be treating people nicely. It'll be easy to strike up conversations. It'll be easy to ask for something when you need it, as opposed to if you're not really feeling it, And so what cosmic currency really taught me to do and reminded me to do is make time for that inner wealth, that inner development, make time to go work on myself, meditate, to refine my qualities, because that is what's going to lead to the external wealth. The external wealth is already going to come. It's already there. It already exists. It's just what type of mindset, what type of actions is it going to take to attract that wealth and to keep it, which is important. How am I going to maintain it so that it doesn't go away from me? And that's all like with respect and honor. Pretty much you're honoring yourself. And yeah, and when you're like doing something like this, where you're taking the time to really learn and master these movements, because there's only something you can get from like a free video on YouTube. There's only so much you can get from like a Google search. But when you get into personal connection, you start getting the realizations of others, you actually skip through a lot of difficulty. Some of the best traders in the world, they had to lose so much money to learn big lessons. Like there's people that have you know, gotten into, you know, maybe bought assets at the top and watch all their assets go down to very little. And that's natural. That's like, it's like, that's how you learn. I know some traders that have done like that, and then they made a crazy comeback because, okay, well, this season I learned a lot of lessons, and the next season I'm gonna be prepared. And they were able to make a fortune. And so, yeah, and at the end of the day, everyone, the reason they're doing it is what's driving everything. So like you come up with your reason for living. So it's like, if you already had everything you needed, if you had all the money you needed, if you had all the resources you needed, what would you do with your time? Where would you travel to? How would you spend your days? And when you start visualizing that, and even like writing it down, that's where, when you're gonna get into manifestation too, because this whole training is holistic. This what I really like about working with Zeller is that it's not only been about chart analysis, which I didn't anticipate it to only be about that, because of him being the ascended trader. He had the guy with the chakras on his logo, and he, you know, and his video is a real cool dude. I expected something, you know, substantial, but when I actually got into it, I was like, whoa, this is actually really elevated wisdom. And I didn't see money this way before. I didn't see abundance this way. I didn't see it as the energy of God so much as I do now. It's like, okay, well, this energy already exists, and money is based on what people put value to. So I'm not in it for the material aspect, but I'm in it for more of putting value to my own life and value to others. And with that, naturally, you're gonna get more and more abundance, you know. So yeah, cosmic currency, bro, is like really good. The Yusa guide to inner balance, really good. Yeah, trading in the zone was another one that Zeller had recommended to me. And I highly recommend it. I had actually bought it on Apple Books, but the guy goes deep, man. He goes deep into it, because like he basically calls out so many like mistakes, beginner mistakes. And when I start reading those, like, man, I've done every single one of those, and it's kind of cool to hear it. Like it's normal to make those mistakes, but then you hear from the experts like, oh, how to navigate those and bounce back. So
That's
it's been a
awesome.
fun journey, bro. It's been, I think it's only been like, it's been probably like a year since I've been connected with Zeller and been like getting kind of slowly getting into this. I actually first found out about Bitcoin, of course, when it first did its launch up to 10K, and everyone
Okay.
was freaking out like, oh my God, it went from like pennies to 10K. And I heard about it then, and then it crashed again, and then everyone thought it was a scam the first time.
Hmm.
They thought, oh, this is just like, they just created this thing on the internet and they stole everyone's money. But then the price went up to 20K. And that's where I started getting a little interested in it, because after 20K, it crashed again. And I actually had a brother come through when I was moving out of the temple. I was like transitioning out, and I was in the restaurant with him there, and he started telling me, look, Bitcoin right now is at 6K. You should buy. I put 11K into this. He told me I put 11K, and I'm doing like, I'm doing some day trades in between. He started trying to explain to me the charts. That's my first exposure to it. I listened to him. I bought $200 worth of it at that time, and then the price dropped down to like 4K. And so I was like, man, I need to buy some weed. And And I don't know, I feel like this is just a scam again, and it's probably too materialistic, whatever. I came up with some justification, take my money out. I was in Colorado at the time. I took my money out, and it's not much, $200, nothing. But then I came out here to Hawaii, and I was still curious about the prices. I was still watching the charts a little bit, but I didn't know anything about TradingView. I didn't know anything about how to actually execute trades properly. All I knew was Cash App. Like, I bought my Bitcoin on Cash App, and I watched the price. I was like watching the price raise. I was like, oh, it was like at 3K. I was watching the price at 3K. And if I would have known what I know now, I probably would have, had a lot of money by now, but from that. But it's all learning experience, right? So like I didn't listen to my friend's words, right? He gave me the advice. He probably put way more money that time. He kept investing, but like, yeah, I watched the price go from 3K back to 6K. I was like, oh, it's back at the price I had. I was like, probably nothing, right? It goes up to 10K. I was like, oh, nah, it's probably gonna go down again. I'm good. I go 15K, 20K. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on here? Out of nowhere, I'm like, I didn't look at it for a few days. I come back and it's up at 60K. And I'm like, what the heck just happened, And so it's crazy how that happens. And Bitcoin's like, it's actually at this phase right now where it's at that place where a lot of people doubt it. A lot of people that didn't know about it got into it at like 50K, 60K. They watch the price go down. It's unfortunate how brutal it can be, but if you always start from a blank slate, like, okay, I didn't lose this much, I'm starting with this much, instead like, okay, I'm starting today for the first time, and you just bring it. Detachment's real important to get the opportunities, because if we focus too much on the past, we can lose the opportunity that's to come, So right now it's kind of like, it's at a low. It could go even lower. Some people think it could go to like 12K. Some people think it could go down to 8K, or some people think like maybe it's already hit its lowest. But that's all what price action is gonna help with. And also, like, once you get through this course and you get trained up with Zeller, and you get you get everything on lockdown when it comes to all this stuff, you're gonna I would highly recommend going into the Fibonacci, because it's gonna give a lot of perspective. So yeah, look at Bitcoin. It's like it's hitting this level right here from before, is a previous all-time high. So that's where I first, right? That's where I first found out about it. Not first, sorry. That's where I had seen it crash. And is around here is where I got in. My friend told me about it in the past. But yeah, it's pretty interesting to just see right here. Yeah, this is the all-time high, but this is the previous all-time high, and now you're getting a bounce on that level. Could go down to this level, some people think, like this little wicks. And some people think, oh, it might go back to this stuff, but who knows, right? It could freaking go to $1 million, or it could go 500K, who knows? But yeah, in the long term, it's gonna definitely go to like 500K or $1 million, most definitely.
You think so?
Oh yeah.
Because I'm curious, because like I'm super interested in the tech. So like, what's its use case? And like, I got in around the same time you did. So like right after it hit 20K, I think I started investing in Bitcoin. This was back when you had to buy Bitcoin first to get into any alts and stuff like that.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it was my mom that sent me a podcast on the blockchain, like, so the underlying technology behind it. And like that shit just like clicked with me. And I was like, dude, this is like revolutionary. Like, this is gonna change everything. But I think Bitcoin was kind of the first thing. So like, you can kind of thinking of patterns, you can think of the internet as like a dial-up. Look at where we come from, like, since then. And I think Bitcoin is kind of that, like, the first internet. It's like that big thing, but there's so many other projects out there that are just doing crazy cool things, and they're like already expanding, and it's like moving up so much quicker too. it just gets me like excited as fuck about it because I can
Yeah,
see how these new projects are going to be like totally changing the world. And I think a lot of them have the potential to do what Bitcoin did. A lot of them are
yeah.
cents right now, and like Bitcoin's at 50,000. So I kind of play with the percentages. So if
Mm,
Bitcoin's at $24,000 right now and it goes up to 50,000, 100,000, what's your percentage take from that? And then look at ones that are like cents right now. And if it's
yeah,
a good project and like they have all these investments and they just have like good partnerships and stuff like that, it's like you can see the potential of like where it's going to go. And a lot of them, at least the ones that I've researched, like they're solving such a big problem out there that they have the potential to kind of be what Bitcoin is. So if like one's at like 30 cents and goes up to like $6, you're going to make more if you invested in the ones that are at 30 cents. It doesn't seem like such a big like trade,
mm,
but percentage wise, it's like Bitcoin's at 24. If it goes up to 50, you made like, what is that, half? So you made like 50% on
yeah.
your investment. But if one's at like 30 cents and it goes up to $6, it doesn't seem like there's, because it's only like $4, $5 move that it went up. But it's like the gains are like 100x. And it's
Huge. Yeah, huge.
like the potential for those. And like I've researched a shit ton of coins because I don't know, I was so into the tech and like looking for like where it's going to be. So I have a good understanding of a lot of the altcoins out there that are going to be like big, at least in my opinion. So it'd be fun to kind of like share those and go over and like get other people's opinions, because I've been kind of like a loner for the past like 5 years, just kind of like doing my own thing, working on myself, and just kind
Mm-hmm.
of introverted as hell. And so it's like now I just moved out to Florida, meeting new people, joining stuff, and it'd be
Yes,
fun to
sir.
kind of like share those and get like other people's opinions on them, because like
Yeah.
all I've had is my for the past like 5 years. So, but
Yeah,
yeah,
you're gonna definitely get a lot of people's opinions here in our trading group. You know, we got a lot of really cool traders, a lot of people into crypto, and there's some good plays that are being called out. Like Zeller told me about this one, Saber, and right now
Mhm.
it's at 0.003 cents per share. Its all-time high was, I don't know if it's even showing it here. It could be 50 cents, but I think it's bigger. I think it's, here you go. I had this pulled up because I thought we were gonna help you create an account, but you're already ahead of the game. So um you know this website CoinGecko?
Yeah, I've heard of it. I don't know if I've ever
This
been
one's
on it.
really good one. You're gonna it'll, I think he mentions it in the course, but it basically tells
Okay.
you, it shows you all the top coins. It shows you the volume, how much money, right, is in it, and um where it's at pretty much. And you can search up any asset here. Like you can search up, you know, Dogecoin, or you can search up, I'm gonna search up Saber
Yeah,
because
similar to Coin.
yeah. But the thing with CoinGecko as opposed to TradingView is that sometimes TradingView doesn't go very far back, whereas here you
Yeah.
can actually, and sorry, I know I'm going to a little bit of tangent here, but I think you'll appreciate this. But
Yeah, good stuff.
here you can actually see where the price was at around the same range it is now. Right now, it's actually a little lower than it was back then, but it went from 0.006 cents to actually going up to 81 cents, which,
That's back in September.
yeah, I don't know how much of a percentage that is. That's like what? How many X is that? That would be this 10, 100. That's like, yeah, that's like 150X or something like that. Something like that. Because from
Maybe
like
more
point,
than that. Like shit, 0.006 to 83 cents or
yeah,
80 cents.
yeah, that's a huge move. And right now it's actually at this like 0.003 cents again. And so like, yeah, this is a pretty good investment for like 100X type of thing. This Zeller really highly recommended this one to me. Um, you know, I put some investment in there. Unfortunately, I think I think I had bought some like at, I think I bought some like at 3 cents. So Yeah, I bought some like around here, and it went lower. Well, no one was actually expecting it to go lower. They actually thought that this was going to be probably the lowest, but it does that. Cryptos can do that, keep going a little lower, but it's just better entry points, you know. So yeah, even from there, from that move to that move, that's a good move, you know. So
Yeah. And if
yeah,
your dollar costs,
I just put like $500 in there, just see what it does.
have you looked into the project and like what I love looking at like the utility of like a coin. So have you looked into anything about Saber?
Yeah, so what's cool about on CoinGecko is they have the websites, so you can actually go and check out and do the research on it. Um, this is Solana based. It's a DeFi cross-chain liquidity network. And I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to create pretty much a type of wallet where you can hold other coins, other chain, like, and probably even switch from one token to another, like swap, exchange, and all,
Yeah.
based on here. Oh, yeah. So based on like other platforms, you can hold like Bitcoin or other type of NFTs in your wallet that aren't necessarily Solana.
And dude, that's so cool too, because like DeFi allows you to do those like trades and swaps with no fees. So like on
Yeah.
a lot of the crypto exchanges, it's like 1% fee, 2% fee, whatever the hell it is. But it's like that's on every trade or every swap that you do, which is like you get into these DAOs and these DeFi projects, and it's just like this is kind of like the future because I can swap between anything without any fees, and it's just like amazing.
Yeah, this one's super cool, cross-platform type of swap. And Solana's, you know, it's a really good network. I really like how their fees are super low. Like I'll do a fee and it'll be like 0.00046 cents, you know. And I'll be like, dang. As in Ethereum, people are really over the gas prices, you know.
Yeah, because ETC was or Ether was kind of like that, like Gen 2. Bitcoin was the very first one, and I think it is going to be successful. Ether, since I think they did proof of work instead of proof of stake, they're trying to switch over now, but they've been saying they're going to be doing that forever. But these new ones that are coming out, I feel like I'm into XRP. I love XRP because there's a whole bunch of similar projects to Solana. It's called Flare, and like
Oh,
they're
the
doing the
Flare
same
network, yeah.
thing. Yeah, Flare Network, dude. I've like looked in a shit ton of like their white paper and like gone over like what they plan to do, and it's just like insane. They've like taken all of the negatives and just kind of like the cost prices and like the gas prices and then just speed too, and like they've integrated everything so that it's exciting as fuck.
Wow, 32 cents. This is like such a good deal, huh?
Dude, that's when I got in like back in like 4 years ago. I
Oh,
started at 50
nice.
cents and like bought it all the way down and just kept like dollar cost averaging. But these are insane prices because I didn't ever think it was going to go below a dollar after that whole thing. But the SEC ended up throwing out a lawsuit, and like that scared off a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Like the more you like research into XRP and like the problems that it's solving and the connections that it has, like it's connected to the IMF, it's connected to almost every world bank, and it gets so much of this kind of like fake FUD type of stuff where
Yeah, on purpose, right? To create
that,
more yeah, people see that as very bullish the more you see that type of fake FUD.
exactly. And it's like it's crazy because especially like with the whole news stuff, the media, and like you noticed how the more that they talk crap about someone or something, it's usually more of like the truth of like they're
Yeah.
the opposite of what they're saying. And it's just like, I don't know, it's even more redefining that people are doing this and like more FUD's coming out because it just makes me kind of like know in a weird way that it's like, okay, this is the right thing to be in because they don't want you into this. They don't want you knowing like all of its connections and stuff, and everything's hush hush. So it's like you have to kind of research things to kind of like find it all, which is part of the fun part too, because it's kind of that mystery part.
Mm-hmm.
XRP, like there's an XRP community, and like they're
Yeah.
totally in kind of the esoteric stuff. And like you see a lot of like the Ripple Riddler and like crypto bears, which it's kind of like Q in a sense, where it's like they just get you to start asking questions, and like they get you to go down a whole bunch of different rabbit holes. And like XRP was one of those like first things that I got into that kind of like helped me get into my spirituality and stuff like that. So just asking multiple questions. But yeah, it's like XRP.
Have you ever heard of the Bearable Bull?
Bearable Bull, I love that dude.
Yeah. That guy's a legend. He the way he expresses all that stuff too is just like freaking, yeah, legendary.
He's an entertainer for sure.
He's an entertainer, yeah. Yeah, I was actually looking into his coaching program too.
Yeah.
Because he has a type of mentorship thing. But his is like, I don't know, it's like it's pretty up there in price. It's worth it if you're, I think it's like two for each session is like, I don't know if it's like for personal session with him is like 2K for I don't know how much. Maybe like, I don't know if it's per one-on-one session or something, but it was a pretty big price, but it's understandable because like he's so successful with it. I think he made most of his wealth on Cardano. He bought it he bought it real low and he wrote it up. I think he took profits at 70 cents, at 1.50, and like at $2, something like that.
Do you know if he does like trading stuff, like reading charts, or is he just okay? Yeah, because I haven't looked into his coaching program or anything but I know he kind of does similar stuff to Zeller with the mindset, and like he just has this kind of persona that's just like exudes confidence, like it just gives no fucks. And it's just like I love it.
I think that his team of people are they call them the Savages or something Savages.
I love that dude.
Yeah, he's super. That's like my main connection to XRP is through what he shared. I have a co-worker too who's really into XRP. He just pretty much he doesn't care what the price is. He's just been buying because he knows it's gonna go up to $10 at a certain point. So
dude, that's one of those coins that like I feel like it has the potential to be like a $10,000 coin, $10,000 plus. And it's just like it doesn't seem like it now, but it's like going back and looking at Bitcoin. Nobody thought Bitcoin was ever going to go above like $1, $10, $20. And I know that they kind of bring in the argument of supplying or there how many coins there are basically. What is it? There's 100 billion of XRP, and then there's only 21 million of BTC. So they say that market cap wise, it's not possible, but it's like XRP is going after all of the money, like its use case and like everything the project's being built off of that network. It's like they're looking to integrate this new system. I feel like this is going to be like the new system. Like they've already integrated with the rest of the world. The US is kind of like that last domino in a sense.
Yeah.
And we get kind of like crypto regulations. Like I feel like that's when things are going to start going off, and like you get into like the ISO 2020, I think it's like 2024 or something like that. But all the banks have to be like up to date with this new system, and like everything just kind of leads to XRP. There's like a bunch of just little breadcrumbs. But yeah, I mean, you look at Flare and like that gets into the DeFi. I know XRP just added smart contracts to their network, and like you get into I can't remember what it's called. But yeah, I mean, I love this stuff. So it's gonna be exciting, dude. Like these next like 5-10 years. And like
bro. And it's good to have a community now that you're connected with all of us, because everyone's helping each other grow. And whereas one person rises, everyone else gonna rise with them. So like the type of wisdom you have on XRP and the research you have is going to be valuable to everyone else. And maybe they have a research they've done on another type of token that we don't know about. They can introduce us into that one. So it's real nice. I feel like good association is super important. For me, I also spend a lot of time away from people. I spent 4 strict years as a monk, and that was a lot of isolation, a lot of just introspection, meditation, austerity, and just like pretty much lost all my friends for a while, like in high school and everything, just lost them all. And it was real good. It's actually real good to get that alone time, because then when you come back into a genuine group of people, you can connect with them better. And also you also protect your energies more, because you don't want the wrong people in your life, you know. And so yeah, bro, I'm real excited for this. You know, just in the last like 6 months, the Zeller's program has just gotten better and better. So it's just gonna keep going that way. And yeah, pretty soon we're gonna have like we talked about ideas of like having days where we all maybe like do some day trading together, do some scalping together, like, you know, kind of everyone get on it, you know. So there's so much in the works to come. And that's why he's expanding the team too. He's getting a lot of people wanting to receive coaching with him. So I'm happy to be part of the team like this now. And yeah, it's all gonna flow really good. Um, and I'll tell you, you know, I have seen a tremendous change in myself, character wise, but also in the way I analyze everything in life, because like it's all connected, right? Like the way you do one thing is how you're gonna do everything else. So trading definitely, it's just like everything's patterns in life. You start seeing people's emotions like get up in real life, and you'll start seeing it in the light of the charts, and you'll be like, okay, I know that this is not a good entry point. You wait till things like calm down a little bit to like even when like giving your opinions and stuff. It's just like, yeah, you know, when things get all heated up in life, when there's a lot of waves, you just stay calm through the storm. And that's what really trading teaches you. Like you're neutral, whether the price is going up or going down, you know how to make money. And that's pretty much it. It was definitely an honor having this session with you. It was fun. How'd you like this first one?
I love it, man. Like I've learned a shit ton of stuff that I can kind of like apply to. So that was kind of the big thing I was like looking for today, was just some things that I can apply, start practicing, like get into it, and then just adding like the personal stuff too. Cause like it's been tough finding connections with, I have friends that are totally 3D in the material that are worrying about their next paychecks. And then I've met friends that are totally spiritual that hate money. So it's been hard trying to find that niche. And it's like just connecting with you and talking to you and like being a part of this group, especially at the beginning of it. It's like, I feel like it's hard to kind of integrate in a place that's already like set. You look at like Tony Robbins groups and stuff, he just fills out stadiums. I feel like it's hard to be heard or like be a part of that when you just have thousands and thousands of people. But I'm more of kind of like a small group, one-on-one, three type of person, just because I feel like it's more intimate, or it's just more, there's more of a deeper connection. And like, I feel like my voice is heard.
Totally.
Like, I'm like super excited to be like a part of this, especially at like the beginning. But
yeah. And you already got a lot of wisdom on this. So it's not about ever losing that wisdom. It's just adding on to complement what you already have, you know?
Yeah, and applying it too. Like I feel like that's a big part, because it's
applying
like
it.
You can learn a whole bunch of knowledge, but until you have the experience, it can't become wisdom. So it's like I'm looking for that like experience stuff, because like I feel like I've learned a bunch of knowledge, but it's worthless unless it's able to be like applied within experiences and sharing it with people. Because like I love sharing it, but also too, it's hard to share something with somebody that's just not interested in the same way you are. So it's like finding those like-minded people so that it can be received instead of just like listened to. It's actually heard. And then like, yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah, bro. You're gonna love this journey, bro. We're gonna definitely see a lot of amazing things happen with us as a group. And yeah, we're gonna help raise other people's consciousness too. That's what this group's for. It's like we're gonna make a lot of money and be financially free and being able to do the things that we love, you know. But I think the more important thing is that we're actually getting a avenue to help ourselves uplift other people around us. And by you doing what you love, by you having the resources to live the life that you want by your design, by your free will, is gonna help heal other people, because a lot of people are living other people's dreams and other people's life, and they don't really think it's possible to do what they want to do, because their whole life they've been told that what they want to do is not right, or they've been made felt like ostracized
Yeah.
For being themselves. But this is really bringing the power back into the people, and it's all symbolic too, because we already know the financial system, what route it has gone. And if you go back to Nixon removing the ability to switch your dollars into gold, and you just trace it back, and you just see like, dang, it's time to bring the power back into the people. So yeah, I think decentralized finance and cryptocurrency has the potential to do that, but it really is our own inner wealth that's going to make that happen. It's like, yeah, just like it's actually the rising of our ancestors within us, because they were abundant. If you go back to any of our ancestry back in ancient times, when they act in more honorable ways, and they had a lot of abundance. You go back to some of these ancient civilizations, like in India and Kemet and Egypt, and you go to like pyramids around the world and all this stuff, you see like how were they able to build together and organize in these ways. And even like they had abundance. Like, what was that? It wasn't something controlled or necessarily. It was like something of the human spirit. Yeah,
It
I don't
wasn't
know.
it was like within them, and like
Mhm.
they have that abundance within, where it's just like they naturally attracted everything. And like I love the conspiracy theories and like alternate history stuff. I've always been curious as hell. It's like there's no way slaves and levies and pulleys created
Yeah,
these. It's like these are
no, that's
like,
propaganda, man.
yeah, dude. And it's like they're works of art, but they also like, as without so within type of stuff. It's like they show you something. There's like something within you that's just as big and beautiful as the pyramids that are built all over the world.
Hmm.
And like each one has a different like authenticity to it. It's built in a certain way. It's like not every pyramid is the same, but each one just has this like, I've never been to one, but I assume that they have just this amazing effect. Like looking at Giza and like the
Yeah,
inside stuff that's built in there. It's like you get into all the esoteric stuff, and like it's basically an inward of what's going on within. I think there's like 3 or 4 chambers that kind of like line up and have to do with the heart, and like just, yeah, everything's connected in a sense. But yeah.
yeah, bro. Super awesome. Well, yeah, I think we went a little bit over time, but I don't mind, honestly. I'm just kind of cruising on my day off today. But yeah, it was super awesome talking to you. Do you have any last questions? Or you think you're pretty good on everything we
I'm pretty good, dude. I
did?
appreciate the talk.
Shoots, bro. Yeah. Have a blessed day in Florida. It's my home. I'm from Miami, so
Yeah,
um,
good checking it out.
yeah, have good time there. You go into the ocean too? You like the ocean there?
Yeah, so I'm in St. Pete, so
Mm.
it's right on the Gulf of Mexico. But yeah, I've been there a few.
Oh, so you get the Western Ocean.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What? That's cool.
So,
I don't think I've been there much. Maybe the only time I was on that side was like when I was near the Everglades, because
yeah,
it's more on
yeah,
the
yeah.
west side, right?
Yeah, it's like right next to Tampa. It's like almost just like an island, or it's a peninsula, like right to the left of Tampa, and it's got a cool like spiritual community and like just good vibes. Like I love
Oh,
that.
cool.
Dude, seriously, like back in November, it's like I was so used to the rainy weather. Everybody's pissed off, getting worked up about masks and vaccinations. And I'm just like, I mean, I was isolation and like just doing my own thing. But it's like weird seeing that like vibe switch, just like coming
Yeah.
down, and like there's like an excitement down here of just like people going out, connecting, meeting, trying new things. And it's like I genuinely want to like make a change. And it's just like I feel like too, it's gonna be fun being able to guide people through that, because I feel like people have like a negative mindset about money, about wealth, and about how we don't have any control over our lives because the government owns everything. But it's like to be able to show them that they have freedom like within. And it's like the more you do to yourself, it's like the more control you kind of have over your reality. It's like more and more people that do that, it's domino stuff where I think it was like you only need like 5 or 10% of the population to completely change the whole entire world. So it's like you don't need to change the whole world, you just do it like one person at a time. And like if you can do that, yeah. So that's what I get vibe wise, like down here. I still kind of am in that kind of introverted, so I'm still learning to kind of like go out and connect with people. And I guess that's my biggest challenge right now, is just emotionally. Like I have a hard time connecting with people, especially just because past stuff. Like I can't visualize, so I have a thing called aphantasia. It's like my mind's basically blank, which is super. I've learned to like it. Like at the beginning, it was kind of a traumatic event, but I've kind of learned, like I'm always in a meditative state, which is interesting. But I'm looking forward to doing kind of the hypnotherapy, just to kind of see like how can you hypnotize somebody that like can't go back visually. Because like before 14 I could do it, and what's weird too is like weed was what kind of triggered it. So it was kind of like looking back, it was a spiritual experience, but during the time it was just like overly intense. So it's kind of like a Kundalini awakening that you're not ready for at 14. So it was like an overload of senses. And like I grew up Christian, so it's like I didn't know who to talk to about this stuff. And so I just kind of learned how to deal with it on my own. And like I've done that my whole life. So it's like now I'm trying to like learn how to connect with people and like in my own way too. Cause like when it comes to visualization and manifesting, I've tried Dr. Joe Dispenza's stuff. Dude, he's freaking amazing. He was that one of the people, him and Bruce Lipton, like they helped me understand that my mind wasn't broken. It's not hardware, it's software. And so it's flexible, it can be changed.
Yeah,
and like
totally.
Dude, when I first heard that, like that shit just got me excited as fuck, because I spent 10 years of my life thinking that I had meant like permanently just damaged my brain. And then yeah, that kind of sent me down like the whole spiritual journey. But like I'm super curious to see how I can utilize it, or like if it is something that was turned off, how can it be turned back on? And
yeah,
just gets me excited as hell to kind of like see what's possible. And just being out here for the past 3 months now, it's like I can already tell that there's like a change.
totally. And it sounds like it can be an advantage because it seems like it can bring you more into the present moment and, you know, like perceiving what is already all around you. And, you know, in that sense, like, yeah, bro. And Florida's got a lot of people that are seekers, and a lot of history, because, you know, it's so close to the Caribbean. It's so close to, you know, a lot of history with people, of different cultures. So I would always see drum circles out there, and I would always, you know, I would run into a lot of like African American, Rasta brothers and sisters at the farmers market, and just kind of get downloads from them. That's why I got dreadlocks now, because when I was younger, I was always pretty inspired by Rastas and been inspired by something about that natural way of life. And yeah, it's just been a spiritual journey. It's been, you know, time, little by little things become more revealed, and it's pretty interesting because the moment you think it's the end, it might be the beginning to something that you've never perceived before. And that's where it goes into where you say your brain is flexible, because I've experienced myself, yeah, that flexibility of consciousness, and how I've been able to change my perception. And yeah, a lot of it has been bringing myself to the present moment and back into like um I've done a lot of meditation as a monk, which helped me a lot, but like coming out into nature here in Hawaii and trying to reconnect with the earth, and actually seeing things in nature with my eyes, like using my senses in nature, has just increased my um my appreciation and my the capacity for that appreciation, because I started realizing like, okay, wait a second, all the descriptions you hear in all these ancient texts about heaven, it's already all around us, like everything beautiful. Like you go outside and you see all the beautiful birds singing, and you see the trees, and you see the beautiful sky, and you see the sun shining, and you're just living and breathing. You're breathing your air in, you're going out there, you start seeing like, oh wait a second, this is where I'm supposed to be. And a lot of these ancient systems of control, like we're not actually really controlled by the government and all that stuff, but as long as we think we are, we will be, right? And the minute we realize like, wait a second, they have no power over me anymore, then, or they maybe never had, it was just myself allowing that, or whatever it is, the fears allowing, and you really start going living your own life, you actually can tune into whole narratives that you basically design your own narrative, because there is an inner voice that's sometimes playing and telling you what's going on, but you can change that up. You can be like, okay, well, instead of like all what's going on, what people want to stress me out about, I'm present here with this tree, and I'm looking at its bark and the designs, and all you are is in that present moment, you know. And so nature has definitely been a really great teacher for me. The hypnotherapy, like as you were saying before, yes, it was really good. Maria, she had she brought me back to some like childhood trauma that it's not so necessarily very heavy trauma, but it's maybe the first times I've experienced really heavily being told I couldn't do something, or like being told that I was doing something wrong, or being yelled at, like just trying to go far back and remember where it was that I was feeling like that, where I was putting my guard up and fear was coming up, and like had to practice speaking to myself, my younger self, as my current self, and give him the comfort that he needed. And then it was it was real profound. And then you just basically like, you carry that younger self with you, as like you're not doing everything for yourself, but you're doing it for that younger self. So instead of being a selfishness, as people maybe describe selfishness, it's a self fullness, I will say, where you're bringing yourself in, because yourself is important. And like in the society, they always teach you to block out yourself. Yourself is not that important, but yourself is very important, and the way you treat yourself is how you're going to treat others. So you know, like going back to like loving myself, and I realized like, oh, I was talking to myself in a very heavy way in the past. I was being real heavy on myself, overly critical, and like the stuff that maybe my parents or teachers in school or people that I related with had been telling me was affecting me. And I was realizing what was stopping me, what's giving me this fear. Oh, it was that inner narrative this whole time. And just like change them up, it was real powerful. I started crying a little bit in that session, to be honest. It was good. Like, and I just laid there after and meditated when we're done. And I just sat there with it, and I was like, dang, that was, it's pretty profound. What you can do is just take care of yourself, and the more you love yourself authentically, you're gonna love others. And it's not being selfish in a bad way. It's like, it's the best thing you could do is work on your consciousness, because then you'll be able to give more. Can't give from an empty cup. So I have a teacher says, fill up your cup. He says, first of all, you gotta empty your cup. If you got like things that are not serving you anymore, empty your cup before you fill it up in the waters of life. And he said, just try to get it before you give that cup out, just get it overflowing, and only give out what's overflowing. Don't ever empty your cup.
Love that.
Yeah, bro.
And like it's that same like concept, like when you're in an airplane or something like that, and you're like with a child, like the things come down, you kind of gotta put the mask on the child before, or no, you gotta put yours on before you put the child's on. And it's like that same sense where your inner child is kind of like you're in an airplane, like your body and like who you are. You got to put yours on first and then kind of go back. And like I love that kind of like what you were saying. They say you can't change the past, but you can change how you perceive the past. And it's like something that was negative, you can change that as a positive. So in a sense, it's like, no, you can't change what physically happened in the past, but you can change the emotional and the mental, because the
Mm-hmm.
physical is the only thing that's linear. And it's like you look into the emotions and like the mental state. It's like you
Also
can change
true.
2 out of 3 of those. And it's like after changing 2 out of 3 of those, that's the majority. So it's like the physical body changes with what you change emotionally and mentally. So it's like,
Oh, absolutely.
yeah, man. Cause like
Most
this is like
definitely.
past 5 years, like that's all I've been doing. Cause like it was tough growing up just because I didn't know what the fuck was going on. I thought I was crazy and just like a schizo. And I don't know. At the time, it was scary as shit. And like I had no answers, nobody to go to. But looking back, it's like it taught me so much. And like having a shitty father, it's like he taught
Mm-hmm.
me everything that I needed to learn, but he taught me in the opposite way that the world was said you were supposed to teach people. So like that's another
Mm-hmm.
like exciting thing that I can look at it and like that different perspective, where it's like I noticed that stuff like narcissism. I can't be connected or talk to somebody in that same way anymore because I can recognize it because I've experienced it. So it's
Mm-hmm.
like taking those kind of like past losses, kind of like the trading part too, which would be fun to kind of like look at,
Mm.
and not looking at it as like a loot or like a loss, and looking at it as a learning experience. So growing, it's like, how can I apply what happened there and change it so that it wasn't a loss? It was a gain, but it was in a different area of my life. But yeah,
Oh,
man,
most definitely.
yeah,
Yeah, bro, it's powerful, huh?
for
And it's
sure.
like you experiencing this, but how many other people experience this? It takes time. It actually takes a ripening of the soul, I feel like, to to be welcoming these wisdoms, because not everyone's gonna understand right away.
Yeah, and you kind of have to be like open-minded to it too. It's like Wayne Dyer has like one of my favorite
Oh,
quotes.
I
Like
love Wayne Dyer.
yeah, he's got he has like it's like have a mind that is open to everything but attached to nothing. And it's just like
Ah,
it's been a learning experience, because when I first started doing that, I was like, okay, I'm not attached to anything. But it's like there is this balance to it where it's like you want to be open to everything, but if you're not attached to anything, then you don't feel anything. So it's like you have to find those like healthy attachments.
yeah, the
But it's like
balance.
never like, yeah. And so like you're more connected than you are attached. So
Hmm.
it's I have to play with that, because like that one kind of fucked me up in the beginning. I was like, okay, well, I'm not attached to anything. I don't feel
Yeah.
anything.
No, because detachment's a masculine quality, and um compassion or that emotional feeling, or like you could say attachment, is more of a feminine quality. um because uh it's just like we have both of those. We have masculine and feminine within us, and they balance each other out, because like for every force there's a counter force, or there's a equalizer. For every substance there's space around that substance, that holds it. So yeah, and for every activity, like you can enjoy and have and be happy, but then you always will understand, like there's a certain limit to it. It's just like when the price is moving on the market, it's like you're happy when it's going up, but it's not gonna keep going up.
Yeah.
Like eventually it's gonna come back down. So like it's the same thing in life. It's like it goes through waves. Like some days we'll be really on it, and some days, even if we've done a lot of work, like you have some days where just to be like dang, I feel like I'm getting purified by the universe right now. Like freaking the fire's turned up, like
Yep.
cranks up the heat. But yeah, it's all part of it. I want to, right before we end, I wanted to share my screen one more time and just say that um oh oh dang, I have this open. You can see the Fibonacci's. Hold on. Let me see if I can. There you go. The Zoom thing always blocks it. Yeah, I have these Fibonacci's open up. It's pretty cool. See how they're like in different colors. But yeah,
That'll
see,
be interesting to look.
yeah, you're gonna really like that when you get to that part of of the training. Super cool. But I was thinking like when you're going on some charts, find a few that you resonate with. It could be any, honestly, like any from Forex. You have the MetaTrader app on your phone already?
No, I need to download that.
Yeah, download MetaTrader 5
333.
and you already have your CoinEx account, right? And that's already got the funds in it. So all you
Yeah.
got to do is use the login on there, and let me see if I can join Zoom with my phone, because just to give you this last little bit, let's see, because I could share a screen on my phone.
So it was a CoinEx app, or is it TradingView app?
It's called MetaTrader,
MetaTrader.
and it has a 5, MetaTrader 5.
Cool.
Got it.
Recording.
Oh. Sorry. Oh. I gotta turn this volume down. That's what it is. There we go. All right. Turn this. All right, there we go. I'm turning the volume down. It's working. Okay. So I'm gonna. Can I share content here? Share. Oh, I'm gonna make this person the host, which is myself. Make host. Okay. So share screen. Start broadcast. 2, 1. They're gonna work. Aha.
Yeah.
Technology. All right. So I got my MetaTrader right here. This is how the app should look.
Yeah.
And once you download it, yes. Let's see. So yeah, once you download it, you got all the pairs here. You can go to the search and add them here, whichever currency pairs you want to trade. And then let's say like I was going to, there's XRP there as well, you see.
Yeah.
Let's see if I was going to, I'm just going to go to this one right here, Euro to the Australian dollar, click chart. It has the time up here in the corner. So you can go to the different time frames. You can practice like trading on here too, but I'd recommend like charting on the trading view and you just execute trades on here. But on the top right, you see buy. On the top left, you see sell.
Mm-hmm.
The middle is your lot size, so you can adjust that according to your account. So maybe like with a 10K account, you probably be doing like a 0.2 or something like that, or 0.1 to start off. But yeah, and then you can press, like, let's say I wanted to put a sell order in. There's my sell order. I go down to trade, and there it's open. You can, on the chart, you could click on the actual, so if you click on where it says sell 0.2, that line that I just made, you get your take profit. So you can set where you want your take profit to be. And then you could click on the little, on the bottom, the stop loss, right there, and you could drag it to where you want it. So let's say, I'm not saying that I would get in a trade right here, but let's say hypothetically I got in a trade there, press continue, modify, and there you're in a trade. You got your stop loss set, you got your take profit. And so when you're going through trades and you're going to practice this week, you can open the trades like that, place your stop where you want it. If you want to move them, you just click on the lines and you can adjust them accordingly. Of course, they won't save unless you press continue. But yeah, you can get into trade like that. If you see the price going somewhere and you just want to take profit, you swipe over here, you press the orange button, and you can close the trade. I'm going to close it with a little bit of a loss there because it's just an example. You go to your history and you can see where you're at. This is my demo account. This demo account, I started with 6K in it, and now I'm up to 20K, 24K. So
Okay.
I've had some wins and losses, of course. You can go through all these and see where you've won and lost here. Of course, I was using way too big of a lot size right there. So those are some big losses, but also some big wins before. So, but yeah, it's pretty fun. You can go practicing on this. Eventually you can do it with a live account and you just add funds to it, and that's it. And you can execute trades on the go on your phone. And yeah, so you get.
I know Zeller says he starts like the lowest amount is like 5,000. I'm curious, like, what did you start with, like, trading, if you don't mind?
Oh, the lowest you can start. Technically, the lowest you can start with a decent leverage if you're trading forex would be like you can go to $500. But on this account, on this demo I started with 3K. Just because I was trying to see, okay, realistically, if I put 3K into there, how would it be, you know?
Yeah.
And then yeah, like I had like 3 other demo accounts before this, and I've gotten frustrated many times. I've like emptied out demo accounts. I've gone through all the learning lessons. Yeah. So but it's all to teach you, because like when you start learning, okay, well, maybe the lot size, I got to change them up to something that's more gives me better leverage, you know. So it's all part of the experience. But like, yeah, I would say like I'm actually waiting to start my live account with 5K. I would say I want to start with 5K. So haven't gotten to that commitment just yet, but it's coming. I'm just like, I have a yoga teacher training I'm paying off. I just finished paying off Zeller too, which was like, I got the 6K package.
Yeah.
In the I guess that's a premium one. I'm not sure what, but I got that one, and then so I finished paying off that. I have another like 6K I have to pay for my yoga teacher training, plus like 1,000 something for the flight, because I'm leaving to Peru in August. So
Oh, dude, that's gonna be sick.
yeah.
What are you going there for?
So that's to do the yoga teacher training as well as to do ayahuasca.
Dude,
To have that journey.
dude, I'm so curious about it, but like the fact that weed fucked me up so much, and I think there's a little bit of resistance there, but like I've seen a bunch of documentaries and like so many just like people that have gone and done it and like the experience that they have. I'm curious to see what would happen. So you have to let me know how your trip is.
And you know, I'm not gonna rush into it. I'm gonna see how I feel before doing it. But there's gonna be like an old lady there who's a curandera. She administers the medicine for like years, and she's learned from her tribe. I think it's I can't remember the name, but I'm gonna feel it out. That's not my main focus. My main focus is to do the yoga teacher training. But yeah, I'm also excited to just start trading on a live account too once I get back. So I'm thinking that if the ayahuasca will have a real good experience, I'm hoping it opens up things that were holding me back, and being able to really, like, you know, because I heard it really helps decalcify the pineal gland, which pineal gland allows us to get more of those visuals in and all. And,
third eye, right?
And yeah, when I was younger, I had a really hard time visualizing as well. So I can relate. I don't know if I had to the same degree as you, but like people will say like to see things, like close your eyes and try to see things. And it was very difficult for me. I couldn't. And I guess, I don't know, it's because my parents smoked weed growing up. So they always smoke in the car and stuff. So I always had ganja around me. So it could be part of it. I'm actually going to stop smoking weed in like a month just to prepare. because I heard you should go, like, I heard you have a better experience if you're sober fully.
Yeah, like totally
Ayahuasca.
cleanse before you like go through the whole thing. Hell yeah.
Yeah, so I'll let you know how it goes, bro. I think it's gonna be real fun. It's gonna be my first time doing ayahuasca.
Oh
So
yeah. Are you doing it by yourself or like?
my girlfriend coming with me, she's gonna do her 500-hour yoga teacher training as well. So
Right on. Excited for you, dude.
yeah. But yeah, it's a cool journey. I hope you have a blessed rest of your day, bro. Hope
You know,
that last little bit helps. So yeah, see if
yeah,
you get download that app and get started with those trades. See how it goes on this trading week. You
oh
still
yeah, dude.
have, I mean, honestly, one last thing is I wouldn't trade on Fridays.
Okay. Right before the close of the
Like
market.
you could get little scalps in there and there, but usually like yeah, Monday to Thursday is a good time frame. Tuesday through Thursday is sometimes the cleanest, sometimes because Monday is just open, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, the market's usually open for me here Sunday at like 11:30 or something.
That's right.
Yeah.
Forex isn't open 24 hours, is it? I know the crypto market is, but
No, yeah, Forex closes on the weekends.
okay.
Of course, there's
Cool.
under the table type of trading, but
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, right on,
yeah,
dude. I appreciate everything you fucking taught me, man.
yeah,
I had a
bro.
fun time.
Aloha. You have a blessed day. Thanks for your time, bro.
You too, bro. Peace.
Peace.